What's up, everyone? It's me, Bobby G, and I'm back for yet another episode of me running through Contraption Maker. And as you can see, we are 5 puzzles. I almost can't believe it, from being finished with the medium puzzle section. Not sure if we're going to be able to do it in one video, but let's just try. First up is Doghouse Drama. It's time to put the pets outside for bedtime. Get Waldo outside and get Tinker into the doghouse. Okay. So Tinker needs to go inside. Waldo needs to get outside. What is that again? Get Waldo outside and get Tinker into the doghouse. Okay. So our buddy the cat has to just get out, and our buddy the dog has to just make it to his house. Let's, as we always say, folks, let's see what the moving parts are. Seems to only be our buddy Tim on the very bottom here. Well, of course, first things first then. This pair of scissors is going to have to do something. Looks like it's going to probably hit this lever, which is going to power this conveyor belt. But how are we going to get our buddy to move forward? Well, here's certainly one way, with the cat food, of course. Let's see what happens here. Let's just see how far we can get along. And there's our cat, of course, trying to get his food. Falls down onto the conveyor belt, and, well, that's at least maybe half of the issue, isn't it, folks? But the other half doesn't look as easy, does it? We have scissors all the way up here. I'm not even sure how that would get triggered just yet. A couple dog bones hanging off the side here. So what on earth do we do from here? Where does that balloon go to exactly? It flies on up basically to over there. So I wonder if we're going to have to use maybe this teeter-totter to get this pair of scissors to break when the balloon goes up. Let's see. Oh, I think we actually had that backwards, folks. Let's see if we can figure something out again here. Maybe something... No, what am I doing here? What am I doing? Something like this it would have to be, right? Let's see. Let's try. Come on, balloon, get on up there. Ah, yes. And of course that cuts the rope here, which makes this bone fall, which does two things. It makes our buddy the dog walk towards the bone, essentially getting him onto this conveyor belt, and also hits this hamster cage, which will give us a little bit of a boost for a little while. And, well, let's think first things first, the conveyor belt probably goes onto this gear here. But what else does it do? What else does it do? I would think that perhaps we're going to need this jack in the box, excuse me, to probably get powered from the hamster wheel. Hopefully it'll hit this pair of scissors, which will make this bone, fall down, and hopefully our buddy will walk towards it and end up in his house. So let's see how far along we are here. We have lots of parts left over. I'm really not sure if... yes. I was going to say, we have a lot of parts left over. Obviously, probably missing something. And, well, it turns out we are indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We're missing our buddy the dog. He has to kind of get over to the left a little bit on this conveyor belt. Let's see if this is all it's going to take. No, actually. We actually made the gears lock up. Let's see if we can do a little better this time. Let's get a little boost to the puzzle speed here. And... yep, that's it. We got it, folks. That one was pretty fun. A little bit of a dual goal to it, but we managed. Doghouse Drama. Drama indeed. Climate Chasm. Help Tim cross the chasm and reach the left side of the screen. Alright. Well, the left side of the screen is over down here, I guess, so this guy's got a little bit of a trek ahead of him. He's eventually just going to first walk off the edge, I'm assuming, right? There he goes. So obviously we need to do something to prevent him from falling. But what? And what is this guy? A little blue spirally thing hiding behind the snow-covered tree? Very interesting. And, oh, look, actually, I'm not used to these teeter-totters being so large. Well, this is probably how he's going to get across, at least initially. But then, what about this bowling ball? Well, let's just hook up the things that make sense here. We're going to have to get this stick out from underneath the basketball, which will hit this switch. It's gonna do something maybe with this bowling ball. I'm guessing. Huh. But we're also gonna need a couple other things to happen here, aren't we? Let's just see how far we get so far. I'm not sure how to tackle the last bit, if we're successful thus far. Is he gonna push the bowling ball? No. Okay, well maybe the vacuum cleaner will actually propel the pinwheel. Maybe the pinwheel will help us get the bowling ball over this way. And maybe something like this it'll get this bucket off the side of the conveyor belt, which should probably lift up this wooden log. So let's see if we got all this in order now. Let's see if we got all this in order, folks. So far, so good. Well, except for one glaring issue, the pinwheel was facing the wrong direction. So let's see if this is a little better. After changing the direction. Looking pretty good, and ooh. Well, obviously one thing wasn't looking too good, was it? That was, of course, our buddy getting sucked up into the vacuum. I think we probably need to position the vacuum a little differently here. A little bit differently. And let's see if now we might finally have it. Let's see. Yeah, I think we got it, guys. Well, that one was pretty good, too. Climate chasm. I wonder why that was about the climate. Maybe just because of the snow and the melting ice and the one bucket. Kind of funny. Very good. On to Jack's rope tricks. Raise Jack the Pumpkin into the red bin above. You will need to blast open a passage for the bucket on the far right. Okay. How are we going to blast? Well, here's obviously one of the ways we can blast. But how? Oh boy, what a situation here. We need to get our buddy the pumpkin up into this little area. I guess this is the red bin. Let's just see what moves initially here. Not much. Not much, to be honest. Well, that's very interesting. Now nothing moves, ladies and gentlemen. Now nothing moves. I feel as if perhaps that rope was not necessarily... Will this water drip and hit the lever that'll hit the TNT? Ah, yep, exactly, it will. And, well, just like that, we almost got this pumpkin all the way up here, but obviously this next one's going to be a little tougher. Here's the second. So you can see they're numbered 1 to 1, and then 2 to 2. So the 2 is going to be the tough part. How are we going to get something to hit here? Well, first thing is first, I suppose. I think maybe we're going to be able to use this bucket. But how are we going to trigger the punch? How are we going to trigger the punch? I don't think that's actually going to work at all, is it? No. Not at all. We're going to use the pumpkin, perhaps? I'm not really sure what to do here. Let's see. Oh, that almost hit it. Can we get the pumpkin to trigger this fist or not? Let's see. Yeah, okay. That we were able to do. But that's not necessarily helping us, is it? That's not necessarily helping us. Because we need to hit this pair of scissors, from what I can tell. And, well, it's not going to happen like that, is it? It's not going to happen like that. And obviously we can't angle this. We can only turn it one way or the other. I don't know. Let's see. Is this going to be any different? Is it all about the positioning? No. Okay, well, this is an interesting situation because we're already out of parts. Do we even need a rope? Can we just put this here? We don't even need a rope necessarily for that. Dripping bucket, slow, medium, or fast. Okay. We can even have the bucket be tilted, so... wonder if that's exactly what we're supposed to do. But that gives us another rope, doesn't it? That gives us a whole nother rope that we can at least try to experiment with here. But I'm really not sure. Something like this? What is this going to do? Well, unfortunately, that's not really doing anything for us either, is it? Not really. And that's very interesting how this bucket doesn't even really need a rope. Unless we're thinking about this the wrong way. I don't think we are. Obviously, this scissors is going to have to cut the rope, this bucket's going to fall, and then that'll be what hits this number 2. That's the only way I can think. But how? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that, ladies and gentlemen? This is actually a bit of a situation here. A bit of a situation. I'm really unsure how we're going to get this scissors triggered. Obviously, this makes me want to think that there's a rope just waiting to get... Ah, I see. Perhaps we don't need a rope at all on this side. Perhaps we just need this bucket to hit the fist. However, it's a tough one here, folks. This is a tough one. I still need that drip to go down. But if we do this, let's see. Nope. Ah! But it still didn't really hit this very much, did it? Ah, finally. Okay. Finally. Well, this was a bit of a crapshoot in the sense that you were never sure what this water bucket... Let's just replay it quickly. This water bucket just kind of bounced all around and eventually a drip happened to trigger the thing. And, well, we got it. Jack's rope trick. That one was a very strange yet interesting situation. And as soon as you got the scissors cut up top, this whole bottom area just took care of itself. We didn't even have to really worry about it. But I'll take what we can get, folks. Absolutely. On to Canine Campsite. Tinker and his friend Fido want to build a campsite. Can you light the campfire and lure Tinker into the doghouse to set up the tent? Can I light the campfire and lure Tinker into the doghouse? Okay, here's the campfire, according to the background art. And I'm guessing the tent is his house. And boy, we have a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see what the moving parts are, as always, folks. Just a little bit of an electric fan. Well, what is there that an electric fan would manipulate here? I don't see a whole lot, but the other thing, of course, is the fact that there's a light bulb. So what is the light bulb going to do for us? Is that going to do anything interesting? Well, I feel like this rocket's going to need to get hit eventually. I'm not sure what yet. Is it something like that? No, that can't be. I don't see why this would work. And it really doesn't. So, alright, let's just reset here for a second. This is an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. This is an interesting one, if I've ever seen it. And there's 3 mice. Like, what is even going on here? What is even going on here? What on earth, folks? What on earth? So we hit play, and this fan goes. This light bulb turns on. The only thing we really have to manipulate this light bulb, of course, is 1 magnifying glass. But what is this magnifying glass going to get us? Not much. Not that I can see. And what is this magnifying glass going to get us? Again, doesn't seem like much. Doesn't seem like much. This is a bit of an interesting one, folks. This is a bit of an interesting one. I'm really unsure at this moment what it is we're supposed to... Maybe this will work. I forgot that you don't have to respect the brick walls when it comes to magnifying glasses. And... Okay, well, already we have a bit of a situation, but I think we can take care of it with this pool cue. Let's see. Just about. Let's just move it as far... it'll even fit right underneath. Very good. Okay, now we're working with something here, folks. Now we're working with something. So then this falls down here. I'm guessing we're going to have to use this pair of scissors, at least to some capacity. We can cut the rope here. That'll make the dog bone fall, and Tinker will at least go into his house, I'm betting. But then we have to worry about how we're going to pull... how we're going to light the campfire. Maybe this fist is kind of where we're at here. Lit the campfire. Okay. Well, what the heck was that all about, ladies and gentlemen? What the heck was that all about? We have this whole bottom area untouched, this untouched, this untouched. This guy doesn't even seem to need to get into the tent. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces left over. Look at that's a very interesting. Okay. Well, who am I to argue, ladies and gentlemen? Canine Campsite, done and done. Let's move forward. I think this is the last medium puzzle of the game, folks. This is a bit of a historic occasion. I can't believe we've made it. Belowground Basketball. The basketball is stuck underground. Fix the contraption and get the basketball off the top of the screen. Okay. Off the top of the screen. Well, that's over here, of course. And it looks like if a basketball falls into this thing, it'll probably just rocket launch right up and out of here. But the thing, of course, is how are we going to do this? So we have one thing that's going to blow up as soon as that falls. Well, oh boy, this is a bit of an interesting one already. I'm guessing we're going to need at least the conveyor belt to help out. At the least. But how are we going to do the rest of it? Well, obviously this cannonball needs to hit the dynamite at some point. At some point, anyway, and, well, I'm a little confused at the moment. Let's just get first things first here. Let's get first things first. We're supposed to get this basketball to fly off the screen, so I don't think it's supposed to fall down here. But what is this conveyor belt going to be used for then? Really unsure. Certainly we can put it here, but what is that going to do for us? Not a whole lot. And this bucket, for some reason, I can't really hook this onto anything, I don't think. So what could we... Are we supposed to have it do something along these lines? Will this hit the switch? And, no, not really. Unless we make it turn this way, maybe. Let's see, okay. So that at least gives us some fire. What will the fire get us, necessarily? What will the fire get us? Well, that's an interesting one, isn't it? That gives us fire. We have a mechanical trampoline that I'm not sure what we're going to do with. We need some way, of course, to get... Well, why is there 2 conveyor belts and only one? Only one? Ah, I see. So I was thinking initially that this basketball was going to have to come over here to the top, but no, I think it's going to fall down this way and then get punched maybe up this way somehow. Probably with the gravity contraption, whatever it's called. But that still begs the question of how are we going to get this cannonball to blow up the dynamite? Let's think critically here, folks, if we can. Let's just try to figure it on out. Probably something like this will help. Either that, or we're going to need this bouncy thing, whatever you want to call it, trampoline. But what on earth is gonna... Why do we need this T? The T's not gonna hit the... The T is not gonna hit the fist, I don't think, will it? Let's see if this will actually even trigger the fist. Let's just find out for ourselves. No. So what is that gonna do for us? What is that going to do for us, folks? Really not sure here. Let's try to just adjust some of these pieces a little bit and see if it'll work out for us or not. If we put this right next to it, maybe it'll trigger it. No, it won't. It will not, ladies and gentlemen. So what does that mean for us? What does that mean for us? This basketball will fall all the way down here, and this will certainly go up that way. But boy, oh boy, we really need to figure out how we're going to get this cannonball off the side. And so far, I'm really not sure. I'm not even sure what this is for here. Maybe something like this. No, the basketball takes care of itself in a way. It certainly takes care of itself in a way. Maybe we need this teapot to blow this soccer ball kind of off the side here. What do you think? I don't know. Will this work here? Something along these lines? And of course we need the rope back on our wonderful jug that gets blasted into oblivion. Now maybe we're getting somewhere. Now maybe we're getting somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. And I think this is starting to come together. This is starting to come together, at least a little bit to some degree. Let's see if this is all we need. Let's see what we got going on here. Soccer ball will hopefully eventually get boosted up into there. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Give it a chance here, I guess. We'll give it a chance. Ah, almost. I feel like we're just waiting. Oh my gosh. Finally! We did it, ladies and gentlemen. With 2 pieces to spare. And look, it keeps falling back down. I think I at least saw it once, yep, and going way back into the atmosphere. And I'm just going to go to the more puzzle section so that tea kettle can stop humming. But folks, we've done it. We've went through almost 6 full pages of medium puzzles. And I thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast. And you know what that means, folks. We're not stopping here. I finally started to get the hang of the medium puzzles. But how, oh how, folks, will I fare with the hard ones? Well, you know what I always say. Stay tuned to find out for the next episode. And like always, thanks for watching.